J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 8 episode reaction video. But before I continue with that, it's extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead that you take the initiative and pay attention to this episode's title, which of course I'll put in the description for you. If that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up, I suggest, and so does everybody else, that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This is going to be The Walking Dead Season 8, episode number 15. Title of this episode is called Worth. This will be my reaction, review, recap of the episode, which I want to react to it to have it on my channel. And I also want to react to it due to the fact that they announced that season 11 of The Walking Dead is going to be the final season of at least the main Walking Dead show. At the hilltop, Rick decides to reread his letter from Carl, and we actually get Chandler Riggs reading the letter as voice work, urging Rick to end the war with Negan, start over, and help rebuild a peaceful society. And then in the woods outside the ocean side, Cindy and the other residents shun Aaron's attempts to protect their community despite him starving and dehydrating himself. After barely surviving a walker attack, Cindy and the others find an exhausted Aaron begging them to join the fight against the Saviors, as they would otherwise continue to be fearful of the outside world. And then inside the sanctuary, we have Gregory, who's back, and of course tries to make amends with Simon, who has taken over the Saviors after claiming that Negan is dead. Gregory insists he can help the other communities, help join the Saviors, or help join their cause. But Simon puts him to work instead. And then meanwhile, Eugene oversees the workers making ammunition for the Saviors and is forced to dismiss an ill Gabriel, who has purposely tampered with the bullets to make them inefficient against our surviving group. And then as Eugene heads out with the guards, they are quickly dispatched by Daryl and Rosita. They take Eugene captive, planning to keep him locked up to be able to use his intellect and help them make things. And then while Daryl dispatches approaching walkers, Eugene is actually able to induce himself to vomit over Rosita, and then allowing Eugene to escape and run away. And then he returns to the ammunition factory, more resolved to make sure to meet Negan, or was it Simon's, requirements for bullets. And then outside the sanctuary, Dwight, still hiding his alliance with Rick's group, is surprised to see Negan, who had, of course, quietly returned the night before. And then Dwight begins to explain what happened, but Negan is unconcerned and only reminds him about his loyalty to the Saviors. Later Negan gathers his lieutenants for a meeting where Simon apologizes for the hilltop disaster, and then Simon is forced to get on his knees. And then Negan reminds Simon that he also orchestrated the killing of all the men and boys from the ocean side, something that Negan needed to keep in check, and threatens to kill him. However, Negan considers Simon forgiven, and then instructs them, or his lieutenants, to set up sniper nests all around the hilltop to contain the residents in order to win the war of attrition. And then Negan tells everybody to leave, but Simon, or Dwight, to stay behind and just kind of, goes over some things with him. And then he, of course, commends Dwight for staying true to the goal of the Saviors. And then when Dwight goes back to his apartment, he marks a map for Rick and writes a message describing Negan's attack plan. Simon anxiously shows up from the meeting, stops by and urges Dwight to, find out what Negan said, and urges him to help him overthrow Negan. Dwight agrees to meet with Simon to plan the coup sometime later. And then at the courtyard in the sanctuary, Dwight is met by Simon, who brings Gregory and several other Saviors that would like to see Negan eliminated. And Simon explains his plans for Negan's downfall and offers Dwight the opportunity to kill Negan firsthand. But Dwight unexpectedly whistles. Negan, having been tipped off by Dwight, whistles in response and emerges from the hiding place. All of the conspirators, except Simon and Gregory, are suddenly shot and executed by a group of hidden loyal Saviors. And then Negan then angrily reprimands Simon for the massacre of the scavengers and going against his orders, which is exactly what he said. He said, kill one to send a message, the other people are a resource. And then despite this and his backstabbing, Negan actually offers Simon a chance of leadership of the Saviors by fighting to the death. So in the sanctuary with all the Saviors and workers gathered, Negan and Simon engage in a furious, brutal fistfight, and Simon initially gets the upper hand on Negan before Negan eventually overpowers him, beating Simon to the floor. Dwight uses this opportunity to pull Gregory aside, hand him the map to deliver to Rick, and direct him to a vehicle he previously prepared for a quick escape. Gregory runs off. Negan, standing over Simon, strangles his right-hand man to death, and all the while furiously berating Simon for ruining what chance they had left of making peace with the communities, and asserting that he will now have to kill them all, just like the governor, kill them all. And then he gives one final squeeze that crushes Simon's windpipe, killing him instantly. And then afterwards, Gregory returns to the hilltop with the plans, but is thrown back in prison by Maggie, who then gives Dwight's map to Rick. And then walking Dwight back to his room, Negan offers Dwight to be his new right-hand man. Dwight, of course, accepts. However, inside Dwight's room, Negan reveals who he picked up on his way back to the sanctuary, which, of course, was Laura. She, of course, was a high-ranking savior that witnessed Dwight's act of treason, so to speak, during the night of the attack on Alexandria. Having learned of Dwight's betrayal, Negan deuces Dwight that was responsible for many of Rick's attacks on the Savior outposts, and explains that the map Dwight secretly conveyed to Rick will lead our surviving group right into the Savior's line of fire, saying the plan was a fake. And then he tells Dwight that he won't kill him, but will find some use for him at a later time. And then later, after having a freshly turned Simon chained to the sanctuary fence, Negan is contacted by Michonne over walkie-talkie. She reads Carl's letter to him, again reiterating the same request to end the war peacefully and start over. However, Negan, he refuses and states that Rick pushed him too far and that forgiveness is out of the question, vowing to kill her, Rick, and all the other members of the joint communities. He finishes by saying, "No more talk," before crushing the walkie-talkie with his foot, and that's how the episode ends. So we had a mystery resolved of who Negan picked up on the side of the road, which I knew who it was, but a lot of people thought it was completely other random people. We've got Simon's death in this episode. Dwight is in big trouble, and Eugene vomited all over Rosita and then ran and hid under a pile of rubble, and then Daryl and Rosita walked past him, and then he went back to the ammunition place. So a pretty entertaining episode, actually, for episode 15. Usually, well, typically, obviously not season 9, but episode 15 is usually kind of slow sometimes. This was a pretty good one. So I'm going to give it an 8.6 out of 10. And the character of the episode, I could have gave it to Eugene, but I had to give it to Negan because he killed Simon for all the stuff that he did with the Oceanside people that he killed, and then all the scavengers, who nobody gave a shit about anyway, that he killed, and just how he acted, how he's treating. He didn't hurt Dwight yet, but Dwight is definitely in trouble. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode, Worth from season 8, go ahead and smash that like button. Or if you're just a fan of The Walking Dead and this episode may or may not have been your favorite, but you like the show in general, smash that like button. Share the video if you know anybody else that would be interested in hearing it. Don't forget to leave me a comment with your thoughts on the episode or anything Walking Dead related. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.